Greetings and salutations, friends. I am Numithrander, and it's time that we go looking for the other wingless candidates. Let's see if we can't help them out. Let's see if we can get the trials going all over again.
Are you sure you don't want to reconsider, Pashika?
I appreciate it, boss. But honestly, I'm pretty happy with my life nowadays.
Pashika, they're redoing the flying trials. Huh? Mutona?
Ah, did Alpa send you? I was just telling Pashika the news, actually. The way things are with the tribe these days? I mean, you don't need me to tell you. This here is no future for a seasoned warrior like you.
Ah, come on, boss. Do you have any idea how long it's been? I've been wingless for years now. I'm not cut out for that anymore. Of course, I'll do my part if we ever need to defend the tribe. But there's really no point in me trying out for the flying squad now. I've already made my peace with it. Not everyone has what it takes to return to the sky after going wingless. Elder Alpa's perseverance is something else. And it's okay if I'm not destined for greatness. I might not have the Kukasaur's approval, but with my hot air balloons, I can still reach the skies. Handling these balloons every day, seeing how the customers react, the looks on their faces, that's enough for me.
Finding something you love doing can be just as hard as passing the flying trial. It's worth holding on to.
Fair enough. It's your choice. I won't force you.
Oh, by the way, you should try taking a balloon ride if you've got the time. Once you've been up there for yourself, you'll see why I love it so much.
I'm a little busy at the moment. Perhaps another time.
No problem. If you ever want to give it a try, you know where to find me.
Okay, so that one's a bust. Kinda. They're not gonna take the trial, so one less candidate for the sky. Alright, you're next.
A retrial? What's the point? I pretty much treat life like it's a game. No Kukasaur's ever going to approve of that, no matter how many times I try.
Waskar, I can assure you, Kukasaurus wouldn't judge you for something like that.
Well, they must be judging me for something. Maybe I lack fighting spirit, or just don't have the talent. Not everyone's a natural like you. Don't waste your time on me. You'll have better luck with the ones who still have their heads in the clouds. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna treat myself to a few more games of Eyes on the Feathered Prize.
Yeesh, there's wingless, then there's being a total lost cause.
You used to be a fierce warrior, actually. But fighting spirit alone won't win you the Kukasaur's approval.
Are all Kukasaurs so strict? The ones in floating target balloons and Eyes on the Feathered Prize seem pretty chilled out.
It's one thing to hang out and have fun, but quite another to take to the skies with a human life on your back. Giving a ride to someone who's unqualified endangers not only the rider, but also the Kukasaur themselves. If the rider makes a mistake, they both suffer the consequences. So we have a mutual understanding with the Kukasaurs. If someone isn't up to standard, we have to reject them. Even if it means breaking their hearts.
Yeah. When it's a matter of life and death, you can't afford to take people's feelings into account. Or at least, their feelings shouldn't be your primary concern. There's always room for tactfulness. Well, usually there is, anyway. But let's see if the last one is even interested in taking part.
It's not like I'm not trying. I'm giving it all I've got.
Hey, Junan. Gazing out at Ochkanatlan again, huh?
Chasca? What are you doing here? Is something up?
The flying squad is hosting retrials again soon. Want to give it another try?
Maybe you're forgetting the definition of wingless. I've failed so many times already that I've decided to call it quits for good. I'm done. Elder Alpa always goes out of her way to come and tell me when a new trial is coming up, and it's nice of her to think of me. But nothing's gonna change. I'm not going to suddenly pass just because they're holding another trial.
They're making some big changes to the arena this time, so the flying experience should be smoother than before. Koyer's gonna try again.
No, forget it. If I was genuinely good enough to make the squad, the location shouldn't affect my chances. A true rider can fly confidently whatever the conditions, like you and Elder Alpa.
Junan! They're redoing the... Huh? Chasca and the Traveler. You're already here. I guess they told you already then. Come on, let's go train together.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
What? Why? But you've always looked up to Elder Alpa. She went wingless after her injury and spent years drifting, but even she came back and made it in the end. If she can do it, why can't you?
I mean, I don't have that kind of perseverance. And besides, the last thing I want to do is fail in front of her yet again.
Oh, come on. You know you don't need to worry about that. All right, well, how about we just treat this as you being my mentor? Then will you train with me?
I mean...
Enough umming and ahhing. Let's just get up in the air and figure it out as we go.
Wait! Hold on, slow down! I can't keep up!
Well, that's one way to do it.
Juan unwittingly chose the hard way.
They've been best friends since they were kids. If anyone knows how to get Junan out of a rut, it's Koyer. You helped Koyer deal with her internal conflict, and now she's done the same for someone else. You know, people often talk about how one conflict leads to another and so on. But sometimes in life, things spiral in a good direction instead.
Kind of ominous we have Ochkanatlan in the background of that image.
We've notified all the wingless on the list now, right? Where to next?
The trial arena. It's not far from the tribe.
Yeah, Ochkanatlan is anything but a place where things became better over time. Just look at it, after all. Okay, well, let's go to the new arena. Or the refurbished arena might be the better way to put it. And see what awaits our aspiring riders. Or perhaps I should say rider, considering that only one of them is willingly taking the challenge again. Koyer is enthusiastic, but Junan doesn't seem anywhere near as enthusiastic about it.
Oh, hey there, Chasca. Did Elder Alpa send you?
Yeah, she's got other things on her plate right now. How are things looking here?
Well, the inspection revealed numerous blockages all over the trial arena. It looks like they're the result of ley line disorders caused by repeat abyss invasions. Theoretically, we just need to clear those obstacles, and the arena will fill up with gaseous phlogiston again. But that's proving difficult to achieve in practice, for all sorts of reasons. Why don't you head on down and check things out for yourself? Feel free to ask the staff for more details.
The night before the trial. Alright, so we have to... Oh, and now we have Chasca with her signature bow. Very colorful. Looks like I'm going to need... a melee weapon, or... Well... Oh. Oh, I see. Well, that's annoying of you. I was just gonna say, I could have swapped over to Zhongli, and he would have made breaking these obstacles very, very easy.
Hey! Monsters!
Silence!
Rather sturdy, aren't you?
Oh, go ahead. I thought I was done for. Oh, this spout should be good now. Thank you very much.
Yes, be careful next time. I might not be around to get you out of trouble. Okay, let's find the next one. Looks like we're gonna have to go up to find it. Fortunately, we have Shalonen at the ready. Doubtful investigator.
How strange. Why is there so much solid phlogiston here?
Well, could be from the Children of Echoes. Maybe it got swept up here due to the ley line disturbances? And I did see those strange markings on the cliff.
I can't think of a way to resolve this. Short of going all the way to the Children of Echoes to borrow it to Petlusaur.
Well, as it happens, there's no need. I can handle it quite nicely. Hello there. You called for a Petlusaur? Was that the only obstruction?
Take me up!
New tutorial. Solid phlogiston in the flying area. A special form of solid phlogiston within flying zones, within which some sort of stable structure is contained, which makes it difficult to remove. However, if you can attack its structural weak points simultaneously, it may just collapse. Okay.
This is crazy. I put all of my strength into it, but it just won't break. Maybe Inkanak was right after all. If a stable structure is formed inside the solid phlogiston, I'll need to hit all the weak spots at the same time to break it. But how am I supposed to do that?
Well, my immediate thought is gather a group of people to start wailing on it. Preferably with sledgehammers.
Yeah! Let's fly! Bowser!
But, well, when you can just shoot it repeatedly, I suppose that works too.
Take me up!
Erg. Still find it slightly difficult to actually drop down with Chasca.
Oh, are you here to help? Thank goodness. There's no way I could do all this by myself. So the blockage here has to be cleared using a special bomb, but carrying explosives up that steep slope would be a recipe for disaster. If I dropped it or slipped and fell, I'd be blown to bits in an instant. So, my plan was to transport the bomb to the other side, then send it over in a hot air balloon. All I need now is for someone else to strike the balloon at the right moment, dropping the payload right on top of the spout, and problem solved. What do you think? Simple enough, right?
Too many moving parts, if you ask me. But fine, I can do the sharpshooting. Is that hot air balloon up there is yours too?
Huh? Oh, that one. No, I've got no idea who that belongs to. Or how they got it up so high. I just wish I could fly up there and check out what kind of tech they're using. Ah, well. Getting the trial arena back in order is more important. I'll head over and set up now. Let me know when you're ready.
Alright then. I was worried they were going to force me to wander over to where he is to get this going.
Alright! Get ready!
So, is the idea that I'm supposed to pop the balloon, or just hit the explosive? Nope, that definitely wasn't the answer.
Alright! Get ready!
Looks like this is the obstruction.
Alright! Get ready!
A thought occurs, am I supposed to be standing right next to this when it goes off?
The gaseous phlogiston is being replenished. Looks like all the spouts have been unblocked. Let's head back up.
Alright. Glad they weren't, well, requiring that much in the way of precision for that. 'Cause I probably wouldn't have counted how early I knocked that one down. But what's done is done, and I certainly won't complain about them making it easy.
Wow, you took care of everything in no time at all. Incredible work. Now we just have to wait until the gaseous phlogiston is fully replenished. Then we can kick off the retrials.
Actually, Inkanak, I'd like to do a test flight first, just to make sure we're not missing anything. Could you arrange that for me?
Huh? But you only just finished getting the arena ready. There could still be other hazards we're unaware of.
All the more reason to have me test it out. Think of it as another inspection.
I guess you're right. With your flying skills, you won't be in any serious danger, even if there are hazards we overlooked.
The conditions in this area seem a little unstable, but a test flight is the only way to catch any lingering issues.
All right, I'll get things set up for you. Just let me know when you're ready.
Alright. I assume they're going to let us do the flying.
Are you ready? This should be a piece of cake for Chasca, but still, try to be careful.
I'm sure she'll be fine.
All right, then spread your wings and fly.
Yep, alright. And it wouldn't have mattered if I had chosen to swap over to my Chasca, because they would have swapped me over to their version regardless. Not a fan of how slow it is to either ascend or descend with Chasca. Going in a straight line forward is perfectly fine, but... Up and down don't go too well. Especially not with just how much phlogiston it eats. Makes it a bit obnoxious, frankly. Are they going to drop us to our deaths? Yes, they are. Continue to let fall hang in the last shot there.
That was amazing. Paimon couldn't take her eyes off you.
So, any further issues with the venue?
No, nothing major. Give it a few days, and we should be able to conduct the trials.
Help! Help me! You're from the Flower Feather clan, right? Please, come quick, you've got to help us!
Okay, we have a random Fontanian showing up.
Catch your breath first. What's the situation?
We got attacked by a Kukasaur. My friends are still stranded in the middle of the road with the goods we were transporting. Please, I'm begging you, save them!
Huh? Are Kukusaurs really that aggressive? Do they usually attack groups of people unprovoked?
Not in my experience, but there are exceptions to every rule. Let's go check it out.
Indeed. I would point out that Kukasaurs can in fact breathe fire. And if we're dealing with Fontanians, there would be...
Ouch! I've never seen such an aggressive Kukusaur.
Implying you're familiar with them already.
Ouch!
I've never seen such an aggressive Kukusaur!
Interesting that we have different voice lines saying the exact same thing there. Is that you, Alpa? Yep.
Chasca? Traveler? This is a surprise.
Elder Alpa? Huh. So, where's this aggressive Kukusaur we've heard about?
Already flew away. Looks like it backed off once it realized that reinforcements were coming.
So why do you think it attacked these people in the first place? Was it after the food?
No. These merchants are even transporting food.
Ah! Thank goodness! The phlogiston wings are intact!
Phlogiston wings?
Phlogiston wings?
Thank you so much for coming to our rescue. These phlogiston wings are our most prized goods. If anything happened to them, it would ruin us.
Wait a minute. Are you the merchants that were looking to collaborate with us? Wormy told me about you.
Yeah, that's us. So I take it you're Elder Ulpa?
I am. You must be exhausted from your journey, not to mention shaking up from the attack. Let me bring you back to our tribe to rest. We can talk business after you've recovered.
But Elder Alpa, what about the Kukusaur attack?
Well, our guests here weren't seriously injured, and their goods are intact. Perhaps that Kukusaur was just having a bad day. There are so many of them around here. You'd expect something like this every once in a while. I don't think we need to pursue it any further. More importantly, how are the preparations for the flying trials going? Is everything in order over at the arena?
The trials will be able to start very soon.
Huh? Did you say flying trials? What a coincidence! Sounds like a perfect use case for our phlogiston wings. You'll be pleasantly surprised by what they can do.
Oh, really? Now I'm intrigued.
Well then, let's forget all about this Kukusaur attack for now. We have some serious business to discuss.
Huh?
So that's it? That all went smoother than expected. Well, guess we'd better get going. Huh? Chasca?
Something catch your eye? A feather. Oh, a blood-stained feather. Oh dear, phlogiston wings. Did you murder a bunch of cucosaurs for their feathers, and then fashion them into wings powered by phlogiston? I hope that's not what you're doing, because I'd have to harangue you for it most viciously if you did.
A blood-stained feather.
Well,
The Flower Feather Clan should be about ready to hold the new flying trials by now. Let's go check it out.
well, here's hoping that we don't have a case of mad scientists butchering local wildlife, trying to make products to sell. Only one way to find out, I suppose, and that's gonna be by going over and seeing how things progress with the trials. Well, I don't see our Fontanian friends about. Not yet, anyway.
Ah, Traveler and Paimon. You came.
Yep, and it looks like we made it just in time. Although, can't say the same for the cucosaurs. Bit of a low turnout, huh?
Yeah, you'll see why soon enough.
All right, get ready. 3, 2, 1, fly!
Jetpack?
Whoa! We're really flying! I feel light as a feather. I'm flying without a cucosaur.
Okay, so they made jetpacks. Gotta say, wouldn't be the outfit I would choose to wear if I were using a jetpack. Looks like they'd be burning quite badly since the nozzles for those jets are almost pressed up against their bare backs. Ay ay. I guess that fire isn't burning near as hot as it looks.
These phlogiston wings are awesome!
What's going on? Paimon can barely believe her eyes. How did they fly all on their own?
Well, jetpacks. What happened while we were gone? I thought this was supposed to be a trial for flying cucosaurs, not jetpacks.
The merchants we ran into that day were selling a product called phlogiston wings. It's a flying machine worn on the back. To operate it, you just use a handheld trackball that controls the flow of gaseous phlogiston.
That's incredible.
Yeah. If our tribe, well, if Natlan mass adopted this technology, it would revolutionize our mobility and responsiveness in times of crisis. Just think of the countless tragedies that could be averted.
If only we had some of this technology during the last war. Comes a little too late, huh?
I feel like I'm dreaming. Did I really just fly on my own without the help of a cucosaur?
You'd better believe it. Plus, you just passed the flying trial. Right, Elder Alba?
I would say no. For the simple reason that you didn't fly a cucosaur. And the entire trial is everything to do with being able to ride a cucosaur. So, in the most literal interpretation of the rules, no, you didn't pass the trial.
Elder Alpa?
Should this really count as a pass if we did the trial using phlogiston wings?
Why not? The scoring rubric is about flying performance. It doesn't specifically say you have to ride a cucosaur, does it?
At this point, really grasping at straws, I'd say, because a large part of this is the tradition and a connection to nature sort of deal. So you are replacing the connection to nature with technology. You've demonstrated skill in flying, but you're not actually connected to the Kukusaur, which is the symbol of your tribe. It's the Flower Feather clan, because of its connection to the Kukusaur. So this is kind of, well, almost sacrilege? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to a jetpack myself, but I can certainly see why anybody from the clan might take umbrage with the idea of just removing the Kukusaur from the equation entirely.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, even Chasca had to ride a Kukusaur in a trial, right? And the whole point of the trial is to test both your flying technique and your ability to work with a Saurian companion.
Well, if we can fly by ourselves, maybe we don't need to test the ladder anymore.
Chasca, Traveler, what are your thoughts on this new invention?
I'm going to say it's an unknown quantity. You should use it with caution. I'm not exactly opposed to new invention, but... well, I've seen exactly 2 examples of this technology at work so far. So you'll forgive me if I'm somewhat skeptical.
Right? That's what I think too.
I agree that they have strategic value, but I don't think it makes any sense to evaluate candidates by the current testing standards if they're using phlogiston wings.
Why? Shunan finally mustered the courage to go through with this, and now you're saying it doesn't count?
Problem is that you were supposed to do the trial with a Kukusaur. Do it again with a Kukusaur, and then you'll pass with flying colors. Pun intended. But you didn't. You have the jetpack instead, so it's... so did you actually complete the trial? I would say no, you didn't, because you didn't have a Kukusaur.
We don't have any experience using these wings in battle, nor is it immediately obvious how to incorporate them into the existing systems in our tribe. Taking a longer-term perspective, I think we need to start by getting thoroughly acquainted with how these things work. Then we can develop a new trial format with new assessment criteria, tailored to candidates using the phlogiston wings.
And we also have another point of contention. The fact that not only does this excise the Kukusaur from the equation, removing your connection to your tribe's history and the nature of your land, it's also an invention created by a foreigner. It's from Fontaine, not a native product of Natlan. And do you really want to be reliant on technology from foreign powers? I might be somewhat skeptical of that idea. Again, the proliferation of technology is not a bad thing. However, until you're able to replicate it and produce your own supply of phlogiston wings, I would say that you should still keep a stock of Kukusaurs and people who can ride them, so that you don't become reliant on a foreign power. But I wonder if we're even going to get into that part of this discussion.
You all raise valid points. But Chasca, while your proposal sounds perfectly reasonable, it would probably take years to put it into practice. We lost so many people in that war. These phlogiston wings could be exactly what we need to strengthen our forces and boost morale in this trying time. And as for real-world battle experience, there will be plenty of opportunities to gain that. I have high hopes for you, Junon.
Huh? Hey, stop staring into space! Say thank you!
Thank you. Thank you, Elder Alpa.
You have nothing to thank me for. Remember, the way you got your wings back was by relying on yourself.
Oh, Elder Alpa! Bad news! Cucusaurs are attacking the merchants again!
Again? Okay, everyone, stay put while I...
Huh? Chasca?
Well, better follow her, I guess. Guns and Wings has now begun.
Why did Chasca rush off like that? And then Elder Alpa and the others too? Anyway, let's go see what this is all about.
Yep, might as well. I have to wonder what exactly the Cucusaurs are attacking them over. Ooh. Did the Cucusaur just try to dive bomb me? Yeah, I think it did.
Oh, it's back! It found us again!
Run! Get out of here!
An old scarred Cucusaur. Is that Chasca's?
Curses! She's really riled up this
No,
time.
is that Chasca's mother? The adopted one, rather?
Hey! Stop running! We'll never outrun a creature with wings! Get back here and let's fight!
Stop! All of you!
Chasca! Oh, wonderful! Quick, get rid of that thing!
What's going on? Why isn't she doing anything?
So it really is you. Sister.
Sister.
Wait, sister? That Cucusaur is Chasca's sister?
So I was partially right. The daughter of the Cucusaur who adopted Chasca.
Koya, wait!
Is Chasca gonna be okay? Should we go check on her?
And now I'm still wondering what exactly Isadora there has been doing to anger Koya.
Chasca, are you okay?
I'm fine. Sorry for making you worry.
You're not going to keep following her?
No point. She's an expert at hiding her tracks. Once she's shaken you off, you'll never catch up to her. At least, I always used to lose to her at hide-and-seek when we were kids.
When you were kids?
Well, yeah. You know I was raised by Cucusaurs. Anyway, she and I grew up in the nest together. Her name's Koya, and she's my big sister. We played together all the time, chasing each other through treetops or mountaintops. It felt like it would go on that way forever. Until the day I was sent back to live with the humans. Not all Cucusaurs are friendly towards people. Koya, for instance, she's fine with me because we grew up around each other, but she's not fond of other humans. When Mom decided to send me away, Koya strongly protested, and after I left, she became more and more reluctant to interact with humans.
Maybe she thinks that humans stole you away from her.
It's a possibility, but in any case, we still stayed best friends at first. I had a hard time adjusting to life in the tribe. So whenever something went wrong, I'd run off into the wild and vent to Koya.
Ah, so that's what Uncle Cusco was talking about. He said you seemed to prefer hanging out with Saurians to your own kind back then.
Yeah, I did. But then, gradually, everything changed. With a new mom and dad, a new tribe, and Koichi, I started getting curious about these humans and made an effort to understand their behavior. The more time I spent with them, the less I spent with Koya. And then, one day, it was Koya's turn to leave the nest. She sought me out and asked if I was willing to leave the tribe and go live in the wilderness with her. As far as I can remember, that was the first time she ever approached a human settlement on purpose.
So, how did you answer her?
Well, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you if I'd said yes.
In other words, you turned her down.
No, I was torn. On the one hand, I'd already made up my mind to embrace my new family and accept my human identity. But I also knew that Koya wasn't a fan of humans, and I didn't want to disappoint her. She took my hesitation as an answer. She saw it as a personal betrayal, threw a huge fit, and then flew off. We hadn't seen each other since, well, until today. Not for a lack of trying, though. I tried asking Mom where Koya's new nest was so I could talk things out with her. But Koya had already asked Mom not to tell me where she'd moved to. It must be hard for Mom, being stuck between her two daughters. So I didn't press the issue. And I didn't go looking for her.
But after today's events, we're going to have to go looking for her, aren't we?
If things carry on like this, I need to make sure I find her before anyone else. Even if she doesn't want to see me. For now, let's bring the wounded back to the tribe. And see what Mutota and Elder Alba have in mind.
I have to wonder just how intelligent, well, these Saurians really are, considering Chasca has just spoken of them as if they can have lengthy conversations and have complex ideas, like refusing to tell people where they've gotten off to. That Kukusar back there is still chasing me. Only just gave up, if the music's anything to go by. On the one hand, I kinda like the fact that there are actual fences and ropes to prevent people falling off the edge here, but then again, there are large spaces without the ropes, the banisters, kind of mitigating the usefulness of them. I can only imagine how awful it would be to live here if you had a fear of heights. Or an unsure sense of balance.
If you're so...
So, I hear there's been another Kukusaur attack.
Ha! I knew it! They're wild animals, and they can't be trusted.
Hey, show a little respect. The Kukusaurs are our partners.
Maybe in the flying squad, but they don't give a hoot about the rest of us.
Well, now that we have the phlogiston wings, do we even need the Kukusaurs anymore?
Are you kidding? How are we supposed to protect our tribe without them?
I didn't mean it like that.
Huh? Protect our tribe? Or are you just scared that your precious flying squad will lose its prestigious position?
You take that back!
Things are changing so quickly.
Chasca, there's a conflict emerging there. Aren't you going to nip it in the bud?
The whole tribe's talking about this now. Breaking up a single fight won't solve anything. The real source of conflict here is the phlogiston wings, and what happened with Koya.
On any other day, people would just brush this attack aside. After all, clashes between wild Kukasaurs and humans are no more common than those between people.
But now that the phlogiston wings have entered the equation, it's sparked a debate over whether our tribe needs the Kukasaurs at all.
I worry that we risk repeating the mistakes of the Cinder City. Back then, Lord Ochkon's hatred of the Saurians nearly destroyed the peace forged by the Pyro Archon. Chasca, to prevent things from deteriorating further, I'd like to task you with restoring peace to the tribe.
I will.
Traveler, you've already done so much for Natlan, and the Flower Feather clan has no right to ask more of you. But
say no more. I'm in. Chasca is my friend.
Thank you.
And don't forget about Paimon. Just leave this to us.
This whole situation has unfolded so quickly that it's put us on a back foot. To tell the truth, it makes me a little suspicious.
You think someone might have orchestrated all this?
It's possible. Leave it with me. I'll look into it. Also, Chasca, could you try to keep a low profile while you're out there digging around? We don't want to give our hand away.
I'll do my best.
Okay, so where should we start?
This all began with Koya's attacks. If we can find out what led her to do it, that should give us something to work with.
But will she even talk to us?
Unlikely. Given how she reacted when I showed up, I don't think she's forgiven me. If you want to resolve a conflict through dialogue, sometimes you need a third-party facilitator. Let's go see my mom.
Very well, then. But I think we'll get to that in the next episode. Running a bit long as it is. So, if you've enjoyed this, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do check out my Elden Ring Let's Play, as well as my playthrough of the Genshin Impact main story. And as always, have a good day.